Vote on whether our state constitution needs to be amended to make marriage defined as one man and one woman. But our next guests think that the state should change its role when it comes to legalizing marriage, and you may be a bit surprised as to why. So Jeff Thigpen is Guilford County's Register of Deeds. We're also joined by Julie Peeples. She's pastor at Congregational Church of Christ. Thank you both for coming.
Thank you.
Jeff, first, people come to your office for marriage licenses. So what have you seen in your experience that kind of led you to all of this?
Okay. First of all, marriage is a foundational institution. It's also a religious as well as a legal term. And so in it, what happens is we have situations that have come up where, for example, disabled people would like to get married, but based on the legal issues related to getting married with Medicaid, they aren't able to be married. If they came in to get the license, it would affect their Medicaid benefits. That's one situation. There are elderly people who face some of the same situations with Social Security benefits and insurance. Pastors would like to marry these people at times, but because of the legal issues, it becomes an impediment. So what is happening is, and of course you've got what it seems to be a very controversial issue of same-sex marriage. There are pastors on one side of the issue that would marry gay couples, and there are others that would not. And so it creates a situation that are not only practical issues, but also religious issues in terms of what is the role of freedom of religion, separation of church and state, as well as equal protection under the laws. They're constitutional issues.
And so, Julie, you're with other pastors and with Jeff, kind of asking that question about how the state's role should maybe change, and how do you think it maybe should be changed?
Right. As a pastor, when I officiate at a ceremony, a wedding ceremony, that's between me, that couple, the witnesses, and God. And I should not be acting as an agent of the state. So we're calling for a clean separation between what faith communities do, give them the freedom to do as they see fit, and respect the differences in faith communities, and then make a separation between that and what the state chooses to do as far as licensing and registering and legal benefits. That's what we are after and what we are calling for.
Okay, so it does open it up to the possibility of same-sex marriage being done with what you're kind of talking about when you're questioning the state's role, but you're saying that should be up to the religious leaders and not the state.
Right. I think this can lower the heated religious rhetoric that we are seeing and that is only going to increase in the coming months. Let faith communities decide for themselves, and let us respect each other's differences in that, and let the state decide, again, who to license, but hopefully to give civil liberties, civil rights to all equally. The system as it is now is simply not working fairly for everyone.
Pretty complicated issue, though. Quickly,
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Well, what I think we need to do is, in raising this case, it gives us the opportunity to come up with an appropriate framework to be able to put these issues on the table and have them addressed both legislatively and constitutionally, and done with a sense of integrity, so that we can, focus on things like what unites us rather than things that divide us.
But we don't have like a 10-step plan for that as of
We
yet.
don't have a 10-step plan.
We're just asking questions.
We're going to leave that to other people.
Okay. All right. Well, we asked you on Facebook whether you think the government should be part of the marriage process. And Tia Michelle wrote, I consider marriage a legal contract. Therefore, the state should issue the license. It has nothing to do with religion. Candace Jenkins thinks the state should keep record of religious marriage. If you would like to form a union outside the church, then yes, the state should regulate it as they are your governing body. You can share your thoughts on Facebook.com/WFMY News 2.